So here we are, the final episode of my Doctor Who Christmas Marathon. The bonus episode that I said I would include, The Unquiet Dead. Officially, this wasn't a Doctor Who Christmas special. This was the third episode of the revived series. However, I always try and slip this episode in if I can, if there's time, because it is a Doctor Who episode and it is set at Christmas. So I feel that it's good enough for the categories to make the list. So, The Unquiet Dead. The Doctor, played at this point by Christopher Eccleston, and Rose Tyler, played by Billie Piper, they try to go to Naples in the year 1860, Christmas time. However, instead they end up on Christmas in Cardiff in 1869, where they encounter several things, including ghost-like creatures called the Gelth, who are possessing the bodies of dead people and are trying to break through into our world, and famous Victorian writer Charles Dickens. Now, it doesn't have a whole load of Christmas kind of elements into it, like some of the Christmas specials, but then it's got to be a Doctor Who episode first. This isn't a Christmas special. It's supposed to be a Doctor Who episode first. And I think the kind of Dickensian kind of feel to it actually works rather well in its favour. I mean, Charles Dickens, a man who has written so many great stories. I mean, even Christmas Carol, which is kind of referenced in the episode of him reading it, he kind of he's written all this stuff and then he sees kind of ghostly figures in the real world and he's like, this can't be. I spent my life trying to expose stuff like this. And that's like, oh, come on. You've written about this stuff. You're brilliant. You can work this out. And they're like, no, this stuff can't exist. Yeah, you've also got Eve Miles in here playing Gwyneth, a kind of servant girl working for the local undertaker. And while she does have a very small kind of... Well, no, that was badly phrased. She's a very minor character in that she, kind of, spoiler alert, she does die in this episode and take kind of Gelth with her, but she does prove to be rather important later on, in that her kind of character would lead to the creation of another character played by Eve Miles later on in the show, or later on in the Whoniverse, that being Gwen Cooper in Torchwood. So, yeah, this is actually quite an important episode, kind of in setting up Torchwood later down the line. And I do feel, I mean, as I said, it's a Doctor Who episode first in this case. It's not a Christmas episode, it was just the third episode of the series. But I do feel it has a kind of nice tone. It definitely has a Christmassy feel. I mean, with the Victorian era and Christmas, you can hardly really go wrong. But the kind of Gelth, the Gelth are a nice kind of antagonist for the series at this point as well, given that the Doctor still feels guilt after all the stuff that happened in the Time War that we don't yet know about. And yeah, to have them say at first, we were caught in the Time War, we need your help. The Doctor wants to help them through because he feels guilt over the Time War, and then when they let them through, it's just like, yeah, okay, we want to kill everybody on our planet and inhabit their bodies, yeah. So, yeah, they're quite scary creatures. And I do think the way that they are defeated, it's sad, but then it's also kind of rather perfect. I mean, as I say, I don't think this is necessarily the strongest or the best episode of Series 1, but you know what, it's a Doctor Who episode, it's set at Christmas, so I decided to include it as a bonus episode for my Doctor Who Christmas or Festive Marathon. And there you go, that's the end of my Doctor Who Festive Marathon. Yeah, well, I'll have to wait until next year for the next one, at which point we'll have another episode, kind of from this year's New Year's Eve or New Year's Day special. Until then, have a very Merry Christmas, or whatever you're celebrating, whether it be Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Tet, Ramadan, just happy holidays, and a very festive period. Until then, see ya.